world-renowned Kurt Mortensen, best-selling author. His books are all over the world. Good friend of mine. I've worked with Kurt for decades and decades, and he is talking to us about the rules of thumb. This is for your small business. Remember, step number 6, habit number 6 is you need to add real estate and a business. Both of those. Now, many of you have a business in step number 1, which is you got a job or a small business. But if you're working for yourself, that's okay. But we want to build a bigger business. And these are the rules that will make that happen. So I'm going to go and turn it over to Kurt. So Kurt, take it away. And we're going to be talking about the rules of thumb.
Welcome back to the Rules of Thumb for the Academy for Creating Enterprise. This is the place to really understand business, not only how to start it, but how to grow it. This session, we're going to talk about how to buy high and sell low. Just seeing if you're listening here. Let's get it right. Buy low and sell high. How can you create a plan to make more profit, to buy low, to sell high? This is a very important principle that you need to know, you need to understand for your business. So this is lesson number 7. Want to make sure that you've done your homework, you're working on these principles. Again, proven principles that work. All the way, as you know, from starting, growing, and not just growing, but expanding. And the whole time we're giving back, helping out, and making the world a better place. So what are these principles about buying low, selling high? It sounds good, but how do we actually do this? Let us start with a case study about David. David was very concerned that his net income had not increased the last 2 months. He had received all of his expenditures and costs. He also asked his suppliers for better prices, but they said no. One of the reasons was that David was not able to increase his purchase volume. So what should David do? What are his options? A lot of people would walk away, oh, can't do anything, but we have options. There's different things that we can do here. We keep asking number 1 and number 2, where should David go from here? One of David's friends counseled him to do the following. Look for more competitive suppliers. If someone says no, number 1, keep asking them till they say yes, but look for other people that'll say yes, that are suppliers that compete in the same market that could get you a better deal. Number 2, purchase in bulk. To do this, he would have to design a very impactful campaign with his clients so that he could sell more amounts of an item at a cheaper price. At the moment his customers decide to buy, David would put in the order to his suppliers. In other words, he would buy on credit and sell for cash. Get creative, keep asking, look at options. Don't take that first no, or second no, or third no. You keep asking, you keep looking, you be creative, and make this happen. So let's hear another voice, a video from YouTube by Lou Mosca from the American Management Services about the importance of buying low and selling high.
Hi, Lou Mosca, American Management Services. Today we're going to talk about buy low, sell high. Hi, Lou Mosca, American Management Services. Today we're going to talk about buy low, sell high. Everybody likes that phrase. People buy into it, buy low, sell high. But what does it actually mean? So if you're servicing big box stores, if you're selling to the public, if you're selling online, if you're a contractor, if you're a retail, if you're a distributor, if you're a car dealer, if you're a trucker, buy low, sell high. What it actually means is maximize your margins, maximize your profit. So every day, if you're making good money or if you're not making good money, every day you should be looking at what is each line item of business costing me? Material, labor, overhead. What's it costing me to generate $1 of sales? And every $1 of sales that comes through the door, what should your margin be? So on every $1 that comes through the door, you do 2 million, 4 million, 10 million, 100 million. On every $1 that comes through the door, how many of those pennies should be yours as profit? 4 pennies, 5 pennies, 6 pennies, 7 pennies, 8 pennies? Buy low, sell high. Control your costs, micromanage your costs, make sure people are not discounting without your approval. There's a lot of work involved to this, but the concept of buy low, sell high will never be outdated. Good luck. Maximize profits, folks.
So there you see the importance of buying low, selling high. Good overview of where we're going, what you need to do. Another voice telling you the importance of this principle. Let's go to some more experts, get some expert advice, and understand that two transactions are involved in every business sale. What are they? Well, number one, the purchasing of the product by the business owner, and number two, the selling of the product to the customer. That's why it's so important to buy low and sell high. This addresses both sides of the sales cycle. Next piece is when trying to buy low, you must not sacrifice quality in the pursuit of the lowest priced goods. Remember, when trying to buy low, you must not sacrifice quality in the pursuit of the lowest priced goods. Got to think about the expectations of your customers. The cheapest when you're buying products is not always the best. You have to look at what your customers want. Remember the importance of buying on credit when possible and purchasing in bulk when appropriate and you know that you can sell it. Using these principles in buying can help you build profits by acquiring goods at a low price. So I want you to think about ways you can buy low and sell high in your business. Keep thinking about it and be creative. Now, the admonition to sell high doesn't mean you should try to sell products at outrageous products that no one's going to buy, because that could hurt your sales. It means being flexible enough to sell the right product at the right price at the right time. The desire to sell a product must be balanced against two other important objectives: keeping customers happy and making sufficient profits to take care of your family. Sometimes you'll have to sell product at less than the highest price in order to get a slow-moving item off your shelf or get immediate access to capital for investment in quick-moving inventory. But at other times, you will need to refuse to lower your price for one customer if you are reasonably confident that another customer will be willing to pay a higher price. Flexibility and wisdom should guide all pricing decisions. So let's take a quiz. Roldan, a fish merchant in Cebu, realized the importance of buying low. He shopped around for good suppliers and was finally able to negotiate a 5% discount on purchases from Evan, a fish wholesaler. Should Roldan lower the price of his fish, keep the price the same, increase the price of his fish? Now, you have to decide on your situation, your business, your economy, your country, what you're going to do. But the reality is, if Roldan is getting a better price, so he's got a 5% discount, he should not lower the price of his fish because his customers are already happy with the price. They know what they're going to pay. They're not expecting a discount. Should he increase the price? Well, he could make a bigger profit if the market could bear that, but you got to be careful. You could lose some customers. But usually in this situation, you keep the price the same, and you know that you'll make 5% more money when selling fish. Now, if you're thinking about adding items to the fish to increase the price, that's one thing you can do. But if your market's already expected to pay that price, they're happy to pay that price, and you're getting a discount, you use that to reinvest in your business, grow your business so you can expand in the future. So what are some ways we can leverage this buy low and sell high? We need to do this to increase our profitability. Again, it depends on where you're at, what you're selling, what you're doing, what your business is. But let's talk about a few things you can do. And as I talk about these things, it could trigger other ideas in your mind of things you could do, people you could talk to, distributors you can talk to buy low and sell high. Now, one thing you can do if your product is seasonal, meaning Christmas time, holiday decorations, maybe they're selling summer clothes that they only buy in the summertime. If you could purchase off-season or right after that, then a lot of the prices are discounted. You have to be careful here. You have to do the math. Do you want to hold on to them? Can you use them in other specials? That's something to think about, or buy right before the season starts, because prices always increase in peak seasons. So if you can buy preferably before or even after, as long as you're not holding inventory for a long time, that is one way to buy low and sell high. Maybe you can deal with don't wanters. What do we mean by that? Is that people might have your product that they don't want anymore. They're moving, they have too much inventory, they don't need it anymore, they're upgrading to something else, they might be changing providers. You could buy at a very low price and resell that to your customers. So always keep your eyes open for people that don't want it, trying to get rid of it, no longer need it. But other people do. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to sell it. They don't want to open a store. They don't want to put it on the internet. And you could buy from them. Buy low and then sell it high or to a normal price to your customers. Then there's commodities. When you're dealing with metals or agricultural products and there's an oversupply or the economy goes down, that could go low. Now be careful, you don't want to be buying something that's going to spoil and you can't sell, but can you freeze it? Can you dry it? Can you reuse it later? If it's a metal you use in, let's say, manufacturing, and you need it throughout the year, and prices are low now because of oversupply, that might be a way to buy low and sell high, depending on how much you need and making sure you have enough to run your business. For example, the airlines do this. When gas prices go down, way down, there's an oversupply in the market, they'll buy a lot of fuel. And they'll store it, and they'll use it, and they'll make more profit in the future. Again, do what works for you. Run the math and do the numbers. Of course, there's bulk discounts. This is what we've been talking about. Negotiate bulk discounts from your suppliers. Hopefully you can pay on credit. And when you purchase more, you get better deals. Now, another thing you can do here, it doesn't mean that you have to buy 100 units on that day. Maybe it's 100 units that month. Maybe it's 100 units that year. Let them know you want the discount. You're not buying them all at once. You're going to do it throughout the whole year. That could trigger a discount. If you commit to 100 units for the year, that could give you the 100 unit discount, or month or week, depending on what you are doing. Then there's promotions. When you're looking to acquire materials, components that you need, agriculture, doesn't matter what it is, there are probably times where your suppliers or other suppliers, always look around, will have a promotion. Maybe every May they have a promotion every year. You could ask them, when do you have your promotions? When do you have a sale? When do you have overstock? And they'll usually tell you. And so when you can see they're having promotions, you can buy more, buy low, and sell your normal price, which is higher than what you're buying it. So again, look for those promotions, those exclusive deals, and leverage that to maximize your profits. Always remember, do the research, look at market trends, look at what your competitors are doing. You're doing the math, making sure you're not sitting on a lot of inventory that you can't sell for a long time that could hurt your profit. And when you could do that and have a strategy, business owners can leverage the buy low, sell high principle. And that will enhance your profitability, and you're on the road for long-term success. So now it's time for the fable, putting it all together, and we're going to talk about the homework, things you can do, how do you apply this. So there was a merchant named Rufus, lived in a busy port city, and Rufus dealt in spices. He would bring in exotic flavors from far-off lands to the local market. He was eager to make a fortune, but his initial ventures were plagued by misfortune. He would often buy spices at high prices, only to find out that the market was flooded with those spices, and the prices kept going down. One day, a wise old sea captain noticed that Rufus was struggling and offered him some free advice. "My boy," the captain said, "at times the sea is unpredictable, and so is the market. You must learn to buy low and sell high. Learn to listen to the whispers of the other merchants. Buy when others fear and sell when others greed." Rufus heeded the captain's word. He began to study the market closely. He observed the arrival of merchant ships, listened to the gossip of traders, and learned to anticipate shifts in demand. He started buying spices in smaller quantities when prices were high, and buying more when prices went down. Rufus saw his fortune begin to change. He was able to buy spices at bargain prices during periods of oversupply and sell them at a profit when demand increased, and he became known as the best merchant in the port. One day, a fierce storm struck the port, destroying many merchant ships and disrupting trade routes. Spices became scarce and prices skyrocketed. Rufus, with his well stocked warehouses, was able to capitalize on the shortage, selling his spices at a significant profit. From that day forward, Rufus continued to practice the wisdom of the sea captain. He bought low and sold high, weathered market fluctuations, and built a prosperous and enduring business. So, what's the moral of the story? Hey, when you're in business, timing is everything. Observe the market trends. Buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. And when you do this, you can navigate the ups and downs of the market and achieve lasting success by buying low and selling high. So, what's your homework? How can you research the market? Who do you need to talk to? Are there more competitors? Do you need to talk to your customers? Do you have to get, as the fable said, the whispers of the market? Kind of hear what's going on, discover the trends, find out what's going to happen before it happens? Are you going to use the internet, surveys with your customers, talking to your suppliers? How can you get this information? That's number one. And then create a plan of how you will buy low and sell high. Again, you're not taking no for an answer. You're looking at different suppliers. You're looking at different options. You're being creative. And at the same time, you're building trust. Hopefully, you're building a relationship with these suppliers to where they trust you more, help you buy on credit, help you get better prices. This is how business is done. So that's your homework. Make sure you do it. That's rule of thumb number 7 for the Academy of Creating Enterprise. Thanks for watching. Follow these principles, grow your business, and change your life.
Thanks again, Kurt. And again, remember, as we talk about the 7 habits, the 7 secrets, the 7 steps, number 6 is to add real estate and business. You got to have both of those for the appreciation, because the government's world are writing too many checks that they can't cover. We want to have stuff that appreciates, and we need extra income. We need to take that small business and turn it into a larger business. We need multiple of those small businesses. I've done really, really well in a lot of our businesses that we've done, and we want to teach you how to do that. And a big shout out to Steve Gibson and the academy.org, the-academy.org. Go there. If there has any chapters in your world, go face to face with them. They meet on a monthly basis. Thanks, everybody. We're going to be right back.